This lecture is about the most common data product, a data analysis report. Data analysis reports might be something as simple as a blog post that you're putting up on your site, or it might be something very formal like a report that you're turning into your management team when you've been asked to analyze a data set. I have this folder example project, which is available from the course website, that gives you an example of the types of files that you would organize together when creating a data analysis report. You can start with the prompt, which describes the problem that we'll be analyzing. The basic goal is to perform an analysis based on the data at this website to identify any relationship you might find between earthquake magnitude and earthquake depth. This is just a prompt to say, this is the analysis that's being performed. In general, you might not necessarily have this file when you're organizing your data analysis report. Next, we can go and look in the data folder. So here I've actually co-located the data that I'm going to be analyzing along with the other report files. That's not always possible, but when it is possible, it's nice so that you know which data were used for this analysis. Always keep track of the data provenance, where those data came from that you used to perform the analysis. The other thing that we can look at is the code. So here I have two different subfolders within code. I have the raw code and the final code. The raw code represents the analysis that I performed. I used an R Markdown file, and I'll just open up the compiled HTML so we can look at the analysis that I performed. You can see here that I have performed a whole bunch of different analyses, and the figures that I've made are quick and dirty. They're just figures that allow me to sort of understand what's going on with the data and play around with it. They aren't necessarily something that I would turn in my final report or my final document that I would share with somebody else. Then I have what I call final code, and so this is also an R Markdown document, but now I've gone through and performed only the analyses that I will be sharing with other people, so it's not all of the analysis that I performed in the raw file, but it's just a summarized version of that, only the analyses that will actually get reported. And again, the figures here don't have to be totally perfect because they're not necessarily going in your analysis report, but it should represent all of the analyses that you are going to be talking about in your final report. Then I can go up two folders and I can look at the figures file. And so here in this figures file, I can see that I have the final figure that I'm going to include as part of my analysis. And so now I've been careful to make the axes large, and I've been careful to make the colors understandable and pretty so that when I share this with somebody else, they'll be compelled to read the product that I've created. And then finally, if you go into the writing folder down here, you can see that I've actually written up the example analysis with a title, an introduction, methods, results, and conclusions, and the references that go along with that file. I've also included the final figure that I will be sharing with other people and the figure caption that goes with it as well that describes the figure that I created in the final figures folder. So those are the different files that you might include when building up a data product that is a data analysis report.